Hey guys, what's up? Alec back with the daily stock market, and look at that, a very interesting day that we had today. All right, it was down around 2%, and then all of a sudden intraday, we see around a 3% movement on most stocks, and most stocks are following this pattern as well. Now, yesterday was also an extremely interesting day because that was the one day that was more than a bloodbath in the market. We basically had almost every single stock down 8 to 10%. And then magically at the end of the day, yesterday on Monday, we saw most of these stocks actually end up rebounding and making crazy intraday movements. So right now, we kind of see the same thing happening. On Tuesday, we see big intraday movements happening right now. Stocks were down like 3-5%. A lot of growth stocks were being hit hard, like ChargePoint and other stocks like Affirm. So if you guys been in the stock market for a while, you know that these moves that have been happening lately are unprecedented, and they typically don't happen. It's not just like a normal trading day that, a stock like Tattooed Chef can fall 13%, and in the same exact day then go up 10% in the same day. And it's basically doing the same thing today, not as significant. We've seen stocks drop as much as 5% and then rally as much as 5% at the end of the day. And we still have an hour until market close. So this end of day rally can continue. Even huge companies that I'm extremely tempted to buy, like Block, are moving big from down 6.5% to up 1.3%. That's an 8% intraday movement. And on Monday, yesterday, it was just as crazy. Block was down to $102 per share. All right. And then after that, it rallied 12%. So $102 per share. If we look at the 3-month high, actually, let's go in like the 4-month high. And if you go to a 4-month high, which was almost $300 per share, you can see that Block is down around 60% just in the last 3 months, which is absolutely absurd because Square feels like a veteran at this point. They even own Cash App. PayPal, however, is going through some of the same drama, down 35% in the last 3 months. And from highs, they're down 50%. So this could be a once in a lifetime opportunity to load up on some of your favorite stocks for long-term investors, especially if we start seeing more pain. And for example, PayPal drops as low as like $115, $110 per share. You cannot be sitting on your hands and be on the sideline at that point. That's when you have to start going extremely heavy, as uncomfortable as it is to buy PayPal at $115 or even $100 per share. By the way, I'm not saying that that's going to happen. For all we know, that this could be the bottom, and the rally that we're seeing yesterday and today could be the start of something great. All right. But like worst case scenario, if you're thinking that route, and PayPal does go to $100 per share, you can't just sit around and be like, oh, well, I'll get it next time it's at $100 per share. For all we know, right now, we can be looking back at the biggest opportunity in the last 10 years to take advantage of some great stocks that absolutely dipped. And that brings me to some other stocks that I want to talk about, like Affirm. Affirm currently is at a $16 billion market cap with a $56 per share. All right, it was down as much as 8% earlier today. And on the day yesterday, we see them we actually saw them at $48 per share. And then intraday, they rebounded 16%. Crazy, crazy, crazy stock market right now. But my point is that there's going to be huge, huge winners in the stock market. For example, Affirm is a stock that can 2 to 3x, especially if we see it push down even further. We see some strong supports right at $48, $50 per share, so it can get that low. But for example, if this pushes as low as $30 per share, that can be a 3 to 5x on Affirm. Some people can gain in the next couple years if you're planning on holding it firm for a few years. Now, another example is going to be Robinhood. All right, down to $13 per share. This was as low as $11 per share. all right, earlier this week on Monday. And if Robinhood gets tossed around to $9 per share, $8 per share, I definitely will not be sitting on my hands. I would actually probably go as far as taking out margin at that point to buy some of these stocks. Here we see a 52-week low of 11 and a 52-week high of $85 per share with a market cap of $11 billion. This is Robinhood we're talking about. They have over $8 billion just on their balance sheet in cash alone. So for example, if you bought Robinhood for $11 billion, you automatically get $8 billion in cash that's on their balance sheet. It's part of the company. So in reality, you're only buying Robinhood for like $2 billion, which is absolutely absurd. And this is why I'm saying we're presented such a huge opportunity that we probably want to take advantage of if Robinhood falls to $9 per share and some of these other stocks fall another 20, 30%. This is going to be a trade of a lifetime, some of these stocks, because Robinhood, they fall at $8 per share. Robinhood rallies back up to $80 per share in the next 2 to 3 years, right? 2 to 3 years. That's not something that's out of the question. So in my personal opinion, some of these small market cap stocks that are absolutely getting destroyed right now, Shift is another good example. Lemonade is another good example, just like Robinhood. I think some of these stocks can actually be 3 to 5 baggers, which means they can go up 300 to 500% from their current market prices. And if we see them bleeding out even more, for example, let's pull up Shift because they're a good one to actually talk about. $2 per share. Are you kidding me? They were down to $1.90 earlier today. All right. Shift is a company. It has a great balance sheet. It has great fundamentals, a great team behind them, great CEO, everything they're doing right. If you want to look into Shift yourself, if you're a fundamental analysis kind of person, it's a great one to do it on. And what you'll see is they're at $2 per share right now just because they're being heavily shorted. Market cap is $170 per share. This is a stock that can 10x. All right, 5 to 10x. I'm not saying that that's going to happen. So, this is not financial advice. I'm not saying go and buy Shift Technologies or anything like that. But I'm just saying you have to realize that we're being presented a lot of opportunities in the stock market right now that are unprecedented. And a lot of these small market cap stocks like Shift and some of the other ones that we've been talking about in this video have been pushed so low that, in my opinion, they will be springing like a coil and people will be making absurd amounts of money. You're going to hear about plenty of people making 300% gains, 500% gains on some of these smaller stocks and penny stocks as well. Now, I'm not a fan of penny stocks, but some companies like Shift Technology, you just can't deny. And imagine if Shift Technology goes up 300%, and at the same time, you're also running an option, buy a call option for August 11th. All right. Think of how much money you would be making at that point. But with Shift Technology, do you see how cheap these options are? So you're going to want to go in and look at the volume, because unfortunately, if you don't go in and look at the volume, then what can happen is that it's not illiquid. So it could be very hard when you go to sell because there's no buyers when it comes to the options like this. Like if you see a bunch of zeros and like very cheap ones, on the premiums, that means there's not a lot of people trying to buy. This one, however, is $50, so that's probably one of the better ones to look into. August 19th, for $50, I'll probably even consider taking that option out myself, and hopefully that option can 10x, and I can make $500 from that option. So let's go ahead and just take that one out. So the stock market is extremely interesting right now. The volume in the stock market is very high too. So if you look at like the average volume and then volume, typically you'll actually see on most stocks it's higher than normal, and the volume has been very high. And you also see a lot of people shorting more than ever. I read a report that said for the first time in like 20 years, more people are actually doing puts, option puts, than actual call puts. And now we can see it looks like some stocks are trending downwards. I want to talk about Tesla real quick at the end of this video. And here we can see 1 day left. Here we can see go to shareholder questions, and here we can see some of the questions. We have the earnings call tomorrow, by the way. You can listen in. Here you can ask a question. You can see what's the current volume of some cells. How is the progress of the 25K compact car? That's a good question. Can you give us an update? What's the biggest obstacle for Cybertruck volume production besides battery shortages? So there's some cool questions in here. You can read through them to see what kind of questions are going to be asked. You can click event info. You can see January 26, 2022. 2:30 Pacific Standard Time. That's when the live earning call is. If you press, you can see what is an earning call. You can ask some of these questions. So you can go through all that on your own time. But if you want to listen on the call, Elon Musk is expected to be on this earnings call. So he might put out something cool. Or just might be good one to listen into. But here's the website where you can actually listen to it, ir.tesla.com, right on their website. So once 2:30 comes, it'll probably be more buttons to click, where you can actually listen in directly into the call and hear what Elon has to say and the leadership team at Tesla. So guys, I hope you did appreciate that video. Make sure you hit subscribe if you want more content just like this one. And just know that I'll always be here for you guys. So this YouTube channel will always be up and running and with consistent videos coming out at all times. I'm not going to be going anywhere. So feel free to subscribe to always get that content update. So feel free to subscribe and join the family. We're still on the road to $100,000 in the public account, even though we have around 5 different accounts now with around $50,000 in each of them. So we have probably total around a quarter million, $250,000 in the stock market as of right now. Just around 100K in the crypto market as well. So if you guys want to take your NFT and coin investing to the next level, make sure you follow me on the daily cryptocurrency. Also have a close friends list there where I post amazing information. I just posted some NFTs that you can mint that are coming up that you can mint for like 300, 500 bucks. And there's a good chance that they'll be selling for around $5,000 24 to 48 hours later. So if you guys are interested in that, message me on the daily cryptocurrency. If you're interested in stocks, message me on the daily stock market. Share this video with a friend. Subscribe on YouTube. Hit the like button so more people can see the content just like this and have a stock market family. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Remember, don't time the market, buy the market. Peace.